thank you very much. Thank you for coming today and to listen to us. I'm Adele Trombetta, Head of Customer Experience in EMEA, and I'm all in on innovations. That's the reason why I'm so excited to be here today, because we are going to show you two amazing innovations that are all about how we are going to combine the best of human and digital. I will be joined by two friends and colleagues, Koen and Michael, that are even the best experts. And I'm delighted to have Martin Gysi from Cisco, who will tell us, who will show us what we can achieve if we focus on what really is important for us and what is really important for you, and you leave the rest to us. Yes, because what we want to do is to make your lives easier. And before we talk about the how, I really would like to hear from you. So please scan somewhere the QR code. Okay, perfect. And tell us which of your business challenges requires an automated solutions, and which one an expert, someone that you can call and talk to. We will come back to this, to your answer in a while. One of the most important questions in the history of humanity was, and actually still is, which tasks should be performed by us, and which one by machine. And the vision behind that, it's a perfect word. I already bought in this word, is a word where we do only what we really want to do. And if you think about that, what we don't want to do is dangerous tasks, repetitive tasks, tasks that require and consume a lot of time. And this is the real engine behind several of the innovations that we have had in our history. This is even the secret of several successful companies that were able to produce quality time for the customers and for their workforce. That's really what we want to do. Now, thinking about these innovations, let's do a step back into the history and let's have a look at one example of this innovation at its best. So please roll the video.
Around 1440, all Europe's books were hand-copied and therefore amounted to only a few thousand copies. Yet by 1500, they were printed in the millions. All thanks to the innovation of Johannes Gutenberg, the German inventor who introduced letterpress printing in Europe with his movable type printing press. His innovation to create small, movable, reusable letters gave us the ability to print and reprint information instead of transcribing it manually over and over again. These small letters are standardized. They can be reused and assembled differently for other books. They are created from a community of people. This concept makes it scalable, fast, and economically very attractive. Thanks to Gutenberg, today we can use our time to actually write a book instead of squandering our talent by copying the ideas others have written down.
I love it. Gutenberg's printing press revolutionized the way we share information. It changed completely the way we learn, we work, and we live. And the reason why I like this innovation is because it reminds me the first of our two innovations, that is digitized delivery. Digitized delivery is a game changer. No more static PDF documents and manuals that requires a lot of time to be updated. Rather, dynamic code-based, did I say well? Dynamic code-based digital asset that will stay state-of-art automatically. And to talk about that, please let me welcome to the stage Michael Camper, Senior Director and Head of Service Providers Architecture. Welcome, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Oh, that's mine. Now the difficult part.
So coming back to what Adele just mentioned, we are doing PDF documentations right now all over the place, and that's the standard. Why do we do this? We have got three reasons why we do it. We want to capture the intent of what we want to achieve. We are going to capture the results, that is the test reports in many cases, and we are capturing the instructions how to get from A to B. So Keeping that up to date in the lifetime of a network is a pretty cumbersome environment. It takes a long time and it's a lot of human effort to keep all of these manual-made documentations up to date, and also in the lifetime, if you do small changes to your environment, to continuously keep them up to date. So they are getting outdated. The second challenge is, it's PDF documentation. So PDF documentation is made from humans to be executed by humans. That means that every change in the environment, you are basically executing as a human. If you take it a step further, you are going to move into an environment where we think if you change from PDF documentation to digital assets, you're going to have the possibility to basically do this very different, because the documentation is still done in a sense of where you are capturing the intent in a digital way, you are putting the instructions how to get from A to B also down in a digital way, and automatically create the results. So the purpose is still the same. The way you do this is very different, because humans are crafting the intent and the instructions, and the machines are going to create the results. And once you've done this in your project life cycle correctly, in a full digitized way, you can repeat as often as you want, because the machines are not getting tired. The machines can do this much faster than any human can do it, and you're going to eliminate human errors. To take it one level down, we are doing this realistically right now with a couple of solutions. The first solution where we've introduced this and tried it out was ACI as a code. That is done a couple of years ago. We have a good amount of customers on this throughout the implementation lifecycle, but also in operations meanwhile. We are doing this with SD-WAN right now. We are doing this in the IP transport space, and we are going to extend this along the way to many more solutions. That's the best of human plus machine invention, because at the end of the day, humans are doing what they are most interested in, and machines can execute flawlessly with the instructions given by humans. And for the geeks in between you, this is full CI/CD pipelining, which is using Terraform, NSO, and Ansible to get these things implemented. It is creating automated documentation, automated implementation and testing, and you can repeat it as often as you want.
Am I right if I say that with this innovation, we save time, cost, and we even improve quality?
Absolutely.
And if that's the case, I'm all in. Are you all in?
So yes, cost, I have to say, takes a little, because you need to transform the organization to get into this environment.
You didn't tell me. You said that we get cost savings immediately.
Well,
are you changing?
No, you need to transform the environment with this along the way. So you're going to do three things. First of all, you're going to simplify the entire life cycle. You are simplifying the implementations because you can repeat and use the stuff you've built once, many times. You are going to also simplify the operations because you will never ever have outdated documentation any longer. You have always up-to-date testing results, and when you implement changes, you're going to have a versioning of your networking, and you can roll back at any single point in time. It comes naturally. Now comes the cost piece. Transformation, because what is most complex to change is the habit.
Oh, yes.
And the habit of creating PDF documentation to document things is a pretty old one. So the entire IT industry is living off this for a very long time. Changing that habit to move into an environment where the code artifacts are living on Git and where you don't capture any longer in PDFs takes a bit. And it takes education for the people. It takes a shift of your intentions to do this, and it needs acceptance of the troops. And that takes a little bit of cost at the beginning of the journey. The coolest thing is, you're going to move people, engineers, and the entire workforce from a repetitive environment where people are replicating things and do it again and again, what needs to be done, into an innovation environment. So people can, instead of doing night shift windows to do massive upgrades, which are, well, pretty boring. I found them boring when I did this in my past, into an environment where machines are repeating this very, very fast, and the only thing you need to do is to feed the machines at the beginning and let them do their job. So I think it's pretty cool innovation. To sum it all up, we are going to have a full pure DevOps environment in reality. That is nothing which is existing on slides. That is something which we are doing all over the place right now. You are going to get agile execution along the way, because project management and the way to keep it on track is very, very different than it was before. And it's creating automated documentation, implementation, and test results all along, as often as you want. So it serves the needs for sustainability, it serves the needs for security, because if security threats come around the corner, you can react much faster with this methodology than you would have been able to do this in a manual environment. So
it's a magic combination of sustainability, security, and innovation.
Absolutely.
I love it.
So looking into something very specific. We have a long-lasting relationship with Swisscom, and we would love to introduce a very high-skilled engineer who is leading this environment in Swisscom, and to talk a little bit about reality. Swisscom is using, from our biggest Cisco 8000 platforms down to wireless access points, they are using a lot of pieces of our portfolio since a very, very long time. They use automation in case of they use NSO in the case of automation, and probably most important, we innovate together with our services in the last 2 years, the transport platform of Swisscom.
So without any further hesitation, please welcome to the stage Martin Gysi from Swisscom.
Hello, Mike.
Hey, Martin.
Thank you, Martin, and thank you for coming to me, because it would have been very dangerous for me. No way to. Martin, thank you very much for coming, and thank you for really the long-standing partnership and trust in Cisco. Before we go into what you are doing, I really will do a step back and think about and talk about the why. Why did you start this transformation?
Yeah, that's a good question. We noticed that our old methods, our old development methods, they just did not work anymore. The time to deliver a new feature was too long, and when it finally got delivered, it was often of insufficient quality. And as a consequent, cost, Yes. And also, the methods that we were using were not suited to an agile organization. We have transformed to agile methodology and organization a while ago already. So we're no longer organized in silos, that have a limited responsibility, a limited set of tasks, to squads that have an end-to-end responsibility. Mm-hmm. Now we had to empower the teams with the right tooling so that they're able to fulfill this end-to-end responsibility.
Martin, when you look into how did the innovation of digitized delivery change the status quo in Swisscom?
Well, all that digitized delivery, network automation is a journey. So you can't do that in a day or two. You really have to set a goal, persevere to achieve that. So it's not something that you can do quickly. But we have some things that do pay off quite quickly. Let me give you an example. For instance, by really focusing on automation right from the beginning, we have been able to come up with a fully automated rollout process for our next generation business service edges. So in contrast to before, there was no manual intervention by the network operation centers people at all. So everything can be done via a mobile application by the field engineer himself. That's one example. And another example where network automation really pays off quickly is automated testing. So I noticed that immediately by doing those repetitive tests all over again, whenever you apply a change to Git, you notice errors much quicker.
Yes.
And as a consequence, quality increases right from the beginning.
And Martin, everything starts from the expectations, from the requirement. What were the expectations of the different people in the organization?
Well, our finance people, obviously, they want to get the savings right from day one. I had to tell them, well, it doesn't quite work that way. So give us a bit of time this is an investment that will need a year and a half or 2 years, but I promise it will pay back. So obviously cost is the first expectations. Then operations also has high expectations because whenever people work manually, especially on a network, things will go wrong. And the expectation is that this happens a lot less, or not at all actually. So quality must increase as well. Now what's in for the engineers?
Yes.
They have to deliver better quality at lower cost. How is that going to work? What's in for them? I think, by getting rid of all the repetitive tasks, all the boring stuff, the night shifts, that can be automated. And they can then focus more on innovation.
Yes.
They can focus on delivering the new features. They can focus on writing those automated test cases. That's a very interesting job. I've done it myself. It's really good fun. So all that, I think, is enriching the job profile of the engineers.
You talked about skills and processes. So how did the processes change, and what did you need to do with the skill set of the workforce?
Yeah, if we think back of how we developed in the old times, we had very separate skill sets, like the network development engineer who wrote the template and maybe an engineering manual. That was then read by someone from an IT person who wrote a specification that was handed over to an IT developer who wrote code. That code then gets delivered back to some test engineer. He probably figures out it doesn't quite do what it was expected in the first place, so that cycle repeats all and over again. And when it's eventually of good enough quality, it's passed on to a test engineer. And the operations person uses that code to roll out the feature in the network. Now, all these different roles, they basically have to come together to form what I would call a net DevOps engineer. And of course, that's quite a lot of many skills that you have to acquire. And I think it's important that we support the people by giving them a set of standard tools that they can work with, kind of making a common vocabulary, a common set of process and tools, and that's how we can help them in doing that. Yeah.
Final question. What does this mean for your end customers?
Hopefully nothing. I mean, they should not notice that at all, except for maybe one thing, that the quality gets better, so their services, they just work. We can deliver new features at a higher pace. And lower the cost. So I don't know who would profit from that. Maybe let's hope that the engineers get a pay rise.
That's a huge benefit.
But you know what? You said it very well, because this is exactly our intent. What we should do at Cisco and at Cisco CX, we should make all the complexity, the technology invisible for our end customers. They should just enjoy the experience. And that's what we want to do together. Now, why don't you stay with me and we have a look at the slide answers. Please, if you can pull it up. Okay, so that's the first, and is about the business challenge that you would like to be solved by human.
Innovation clearly is, I think it's a hit. And
so
as
Michael,
well
I
as
think that
creativity.
you will be busy in the next few days or few years with all this innovation creativity.
I'm sure.
It's all about you.
I'm sure. It's not about, it's all about the engineers, right?
Yes.
Instead of doing boring things,
yes, that's the point.
They can bring new things and they can innovate and be creative along the way to solve the complex things.
And the complexity as well.
Absolutely.
Agreed?
Yeah.
What about, indeed, the second, the automation? So by automation, we should do deployment, simple, and compliance. Compliance is an important one, because we know that it's becoming more and more top of mind for everyone, and we are going to discuss about that even with Kuhn. So with that, I would like to thank you for coming and for sharing with us this amazing innovation that is going to change the way we deliver.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And now, please welcome to the stage Koen Bastians, Vice President of Customer Experience in North. And with Koen, we are going to talk about the second of our innovations. It is all about the evolution of the customer experience portfolio. So Koen, welcome. And before we start talking about the customer experience portfolio evolution, I really would like to hear more about what customers and partners are telling you in these days here at Cisco Live.
Thank you, Adele. Look how wonderful it is to be here live in Amsterdam with all of you, all our customers and partners. And as the slide already indicated, you kind of confirm most of our conversations, where we talk to our CCIE communities, our technical experts, our IT leadership. Digital evolution, or call it innovation through digital evolution, is really, really top of mind. And it's happening across every industry and really at incredible pace, which I'm pretty sure you all feel. But let's first give a perspective of how we as Cisco help our customers in their digital journey. We will hear from one of our Danish customers, Nørlis, how they're actually enabling the Danish society on that digital evolution. Nørlis is rolling out fiber to literally every corner of the country, connecting farms, rural areas, businesses, and as such, helping the society to evolve. And as Nørlis is also a utilities energy company, they tie this to their sustainability goals. But instead of me talking, let's roll the video.
Being at the forefront of the fiber movement is a credible journey. It's not a place where you get a lot of second chances. High-speed internet is more or less a fundamental thing for people living. Every outage is critical. My name is Thomas. I work at Nordlys in our fiber division, and I'm the network planning director. Nordlys Fiber is the largest fiber net in Denmark. We have more than 800,000 addresses that we are currently supplying with fiber, and we have more than 1.7 million customer relations within the entire Nordlys group. As Nordlys is a giant cooperative, we try to make sure that everybody within our community get the same possibilities as everybody else, basically ensuring that everybody will have access to high-quality, high-speed internet. Cisco has been with us since the beginning of our fiber adventure, that now everybody's craving fiber, and everybody in the service provider space knows that scaling the network is the one crucial area where you can really shine or you can really falter. And Cisco helped us through our entire expansion. So looking to the future, we are trying to provide a sustainable green network that provides high-speed, quality and stable internet, future-proof network through the entire Danish society. That is our obligation, and that is the sole vision, to make sure that everybody gains the same possibilities as everybody else.
Woo!
So we've heard from one of our happy customers, and actually pretty proud as Cisco, we help our customers to digitize the society. And as Thomas in the video said, we were there with him from the start of their fiber adventure through the full expansion. Our human experts, and now I come to the team of expertise and digital, are working with him on architecture to enable fast and smooth rollout, but also on the operational side of it. Now, Thomas said something very particular. He said how we help him managing his security risk. And you can imagine for a company like that, that is absolutely crucial. So let me go slightly deeper on this one. Through all our analytics and insights, our experts, network security experts, are tailoring and specializing recommendations for Thomas and his team to keep his network compliant and to actually keep it safe.
But Koen, you touched a very important point, security. Everyone is talking about security. Security is top of mind for everyone. The question is, why us? Why Cisco CX?
So when you engage with Cisco services, you actually get access to our world-class solutions consultants. Their expertise has been built on 35 years of successfully transforming business. But not only that, all this is powered by insights, which we harness from 50 million installed equipment, and another 3 million cases where we get all the analytics from. So the result of that one is a true unique combination of this human expertise, this human brain, built on analytics. Fantastic, right? Think about what we hear.
I should say that, not you. I'm joking.
Thank you, Adele. But think a little bit what is happening AI these days. It's all over, right? Think about what's happening with the likes like ChatGPT. If you start evolving and combining all of this, it's unbelievable what is possible. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, right? We still need that human brain. We still need that passion on innovation, as you clearly indicated over here, and solving the world complex business problems. But I have a surprise for you, a bit of off script. We actually have Thomas in the room.
Oh, wow, this is
Thomas,
nice.
Join us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
And I have one simple question to you. Would you be able to do that if you do with our team with ChatGPT?
So basically working with CX is, to me, all about human relations and trust.
He said quite well.
He said it
Thank
really...
you very much, Thomas.
Really, really well, right? This is super.
That's fantastic. Thank you very much, Thomas. And now, Koen, you came here to talk about the CX portfolio evolution. You didn't start yet. Please, tell us more about it.
Let me know how we really sell this, how we really put this together. So the human approach, brains plus digital expertise combined, actually keeps evolving in our portfolio. And we've built our portfolio, evolved our portfolio on two different approaches. The first one is business critical services, where we take a human-first approach. Our consultants work with your teams across all architectures, across all the life cycle, and across every use case. But all this powered on those insights we harnessed. On the other hand, our success tracks portfolio take the opposite approach. We start from a digital-first approach. Through CX Cloud as the unique one-stop digital platform, and from there augmented with digital expertise. And we keep innovating on this one. And I come back to the same topic, particularly for the engineers, I'm part of it. We won't be replaced soon by artificial intelligence. We will be here again, Adele.
It's good to hear. Good to hear, Koen. Now, you mentioned a lot about customers, about human, digital, but you didn't mention an important key element of our ecosystem, partners. What about partners? What's their role?
Absolutely important. We are not only on this journey with our customers, we are on this journey with our global partner ecosystem, right? Through partner lifecycle services, we actually empower our partners to deliver services across the full lifecycle under their own brand. And here comes now the beauty of the approach. Within partner lifecycle, through APIs, we actually share those insights through our partners. We share that value to this on which they can build their own portfolio, their own targeted versions of services to this one. This actually gives a lot more choice to our end customer, a lot more flexibility, and also our partners are specialized in specific outcomes, gives us way wider scale. But let me go back to what Martin and Michael so beautifully explained. All this innovation, digital delivery, we are actually working on embedding that in our future generation and expose that with our partners. And I think that is really true innovation at scale.
That I love, as I said. Thank you very much, Koen. Thank you for sharing with us. And now, I will be brave. I will stand up. Thank you, Koen.
Thank you.
So now, before we close this session, we have one more surprise for you. So please, if you can scan the code, we are going to launch a competition. If you please can submit, which is the innovation that you would like to start at your business, in your company, we will select the best idea, and the winner will have 2 weeks of our expert working with you in order to kick off this innovation. And finally, if you have any question or curiosity or feedback, please come and join us at the CX booth. Martin, Michael, Koen, and why not Thomas? They will be there with me in order to answer to your question. And with that, thank you again to Martin, Thomas, Michael, and Koen, and thank you for coming today and listen to us. Thank you very much.